It was late at night, and the office lights were still on. Maya stared at her laptop screen, but the words no longer made sense. The coffee beside her had gone cold. Her shoulders felt heavy, and her eyes burned from staring at screens all day. Earlier that afternoon, her mother had called her. "You don't sound like yourself," her mother said softly. Maya laughed and said she was fine. Just busy. But deep down, she knew that wasn't true. For 3 years, Maya had been climbing the corporate ladder at a top marketing firm. Promotions came quickly. Praise followed her everywhere. Long work hours became normal. Lunch breaks disappeared. Weekends turned into workdays. Friends slowly stopped calling. Her apartment became nothing more than a place to sleep. She told herself this was what success looked like. Until one Friday morning, when her body finally said no. Her heart started racing. Her hands began to shake. Her vision blurred. For a terrifying moment, she thought she was having a heart attack. But it wasn't her heart failing. It was her mind and body reaching their limit. It was a panic attack. That evening, Maya sat alone in her car, not driving, not checking her phone, just trying to breathe. For the first time in weeks, she allowed herself to feel how exhausted she truly was. Then she did something she hadn't done in a long time. She asked for help. She called her best friend, Sarah, and quietly said, "I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't do this anymore." Saying those words felt heavy, but also strangely freeing. The next day, Sarah came over. They talked for hours. No distractions, no rushing, just honesty. Then Sarah asked a question that changed everything. "What do you actually want your life to look like?" Maya didn't have an answer. That night, she sat alone and wrote a different kind of list. Not work goals, not deadlines, but the things that truly mattered to her. Time with family, peace of mind, health, real friendships, energy at the end of the day, feeling like herself again. As she wrote, tears rolled down her face. She realized how much of her life she had traded away without even noticing. The following Monday, Maya had a conversation that scared her more than any presentation ever had. She asked her manager for a private meeting and spoke honestly. She said she didn't want to work less. She wanted to work better. She admitted she was burning out and that continuing this way would eventually cost her everything. To her surprise, her manager listened. Together, they created a new way of working. Clear work hours, fewer unnecessary projects, a focus on quality instead of exhaustion. It wasn't perfect, but it was a beginning. Leaving the office earlier felt uncomfortable at first. Guilt followed her home. She kept thinking she should be doing more. But slowly, something changed. She signed up for one yoga class a week. She cooked real meals. She spent an evening with her mother without rushing. She walked through a bookstore and remembered how much she loved being there. Little by little, her body relaxed. Her sleep improved. Her mind felt clearer. At work, something unexpected happened. She became more creative, more focused, and more confident. She realized that rest didn't make her weaker. It made her better. A few months later, Maya noticed something important. She wasn't just surviving anymore. She was living. Balance didn't mean giving up ambition. It meant choosing what truly mattered. She still worked hard, but she also protected her energy and her time. When her promotion came, it felt different. Not empty, not exhausting. It felt meaningful. One afternoon, sitting in a park during her lunch break, Maya called her mother. They talked slowly, laughed, and celebrated together. She thought about the version of herself who had once sat in her car, overwhelmed and afraid. And instead of shame, she felt pride. Not because she pushed harder, but because she chose herself. Years later, When a younger colleague came to her in tears, exhausted and overwhelmed, Maya saw her old self reflected there. She shared her story honestly. She didn't promise that change would be easy. She promised that it would be worth it. Because the real question isn't how much you can survive. The real question is what kind of life you want to live. Your health is not a luxury. Your peace is not optional. Your life is not meant to be postponed. Choose yourself again and again.